After 2 long days at Tokyo orientation, we were finally going to leave for our prefectures. At the jet orientation breakfast, they were like the eggs that they kept giving us. I don't even know. I can't. They're like creamy eggs. If you put them on bread, they spread like butter. So I think about those made me feel kind of sick. So I had like half a potato for breakfast. So after breakfast, we met up with our prefectural groups at around 8:30 and hung out for a little bit until our bus was ready. It was very rainy the day that we left, but we still got to see a little bit of the city on the bus. So we checked in the suitcase that we brought with us to the hotel, the carry-on size one. It had to be under 20 kilos, and mine had no problem being under. They were actually pretty lenient about the weight though, so that's not something to worry about too much. And again, then we had to wait for our flight, but not too long. We actually get there pretty close to our boarding time. I think we waited maybe 20 minutes. The flight wasn't very long. I just relaxed, listened to music, studied Japanese a little bit. I was not lucky enough to get a window seat this time. However, Mitch volunteered with his cinematographic skills to film the window for me when we arrived at Nagasaki. My first impressions of Nagasaki. I actually got pretty emotional because my first experience with really lush green mountains was when I visited Peru. And I thought it was like a fairy tale, almost like a fantasy land. And that's kind of what Nagasaki is like as well. When you first arrive, you see these bright blue seas, these luscious green mountains that encompass the area. It's just really beautiful in my opinion. Like that's my standard of beauty for nature. I was actually really nervous, and so were some of the other jets, to meet with our supervisor and our board of ed and some of our JTEs. I know for me, some members of my board of ed were coming to meet me, and they were so sweet. They had a sign for me. It made me really happy to see that. So we left the airport, and I have so much film from Nagasaki just from driving in the car because I was so stunned by its beauty. I could not stop smiling. I was so happy, and I feel really grateful, and it makes me sad, especially after seeing that and seeing how beautiful Dejima Port was with the festival. That the first thing people think of abroad, at least in the States when they think of Nagasaki, is World War II and the atomic bomb. And it's hard to find other things. Like, I had no idea Nagasaki was mountainous, and it makes me sad that that's people's first impression on such a beautiful place. Like, when people think of Nagasaki, they should think of this luscious green cultural hub by the sea. I don't know. People should think of Nagasaki and think, oh, I want to go there. Not, wow, there was a lot of devastation after World War II. Of course, that history should be remembered. I'm not trying to say that it shouldn't. That's important as well. But I think when a place experiences devastation, they don't want to be defined by that devastation. Just as a person who experiences a traumatic event doesn't want to be defined by that traumatic event. They want to be remembered by their triumphs and their positive qualities and how much they've overcome and healed. I think people should be able to see that side of Nagasaki in addition to what it has experienced historically. So, Nagasaki sensei and Ayaka took me to a Japanese buffet, and the food was delicious. And I can't remember if I recorded it or not. I don't think I did. Because I was starving. It was 2 o'clock, I had not had lunch yet, and I had a very small breakfast, and they knew that, and thankfully they treated me to lunch. We went back to my apartment, got stuff set up, like my Wi-Fi. We went grocery shopping, and we went to a department store so I get things like my futon, and it's like 90 degrees here all the time, plus the humidity. If you look it up on your phone, it's like, it's 88, feels like 98. And then for dinner, we had dinner at Kanasaki Sensei's house, and his wife prepared like tempura and like this whole, like how you imagine in like, I guess Japanese movies, when they're all sitting on a tatami mat and have like a table to the ground and a bunch of different foods. It was like that. Oh, and check out this view. We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and